What's good, YouTube? Um, we're back with another video. It's been a while. Um, it's been a couple days actually, but I just decided I'd hop on here and drop some game, cause why not? Pretty bored. I don't have much else to do with my day, so adjust my camera. But today we're gonna talk about the holy grail to trading success. And people are like, "What? Holy grail? No such thing." But actually, there is. Every successful trader has one thing in common. It's their mindset. And it's their brain. And guess what? Everybody has a brain. So, this is why I say the holy grail to trading success is you. It's inside everybody. Everybody can do this. Anyone can do it. Anyone has the capability of doing it. And today we're going to talk about how you can uh, master yourself, which is the holy grail essentially. So let's get started. Number one, you must know yourself, where you're likely to mess it up and where you're likely to do it right. So for this, there's no like one, everyone is different, right? Like, for example, I'll use myself as an example. Mondays, I don't trade Mondays. Why? Because I know that me as the trader, I am likely to mess it up more likely on Mondays, which is why I don't trade Mondays. But that will not be the case for everyone. That may not be the case for you. But for me, that's just what it is. It's kind of like a psychological barrier. Just for right now, it's not how it's gonna be forever. But during the process, you have to be aware of these things and avoid them. Because if you don't, then you will be faced with consequences. So find out where you, as an individual trader, are likely to mess it up and where you're likely to do it right. So where I'm likely to do it right is on days Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with high impact news drivers, either preferably red folder or medium impact orange folder. Those days are the days where I have highly accurate um, strike rate. I can't give it like a number, but if I were to, I'd say 80 80% on the days where I'm likely to do it right. And yeah, if you can just differentiate those days and avoid the days where you mess it up, and it will be hard at first, especially at first, because you will be thinking like you're missing out on opportunities, but in reality, those opportunities will always be there. You're not going to be able to catch every opportunity. Um, so take the why take the lesser opportunities when you can enjoy the better opportunities? Um, and yeah, the main emphasis is on being able to control yourself and um, not and being able to avoid the 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 um, times where you're likely to mess it up. Because for me, I know that I'm likely to mess it up on Mondays, but every single Monday that comes by, I have the strong impulse to still trade. Why? Because I don't want to miss the opportunities. But you have to overcome that, and over time, it will get easier. So that's it for number one. Let's move on to number two. Number two, must take accountability for your actions. In this game, it is no one's fault but yours. At the end of the day, you are the one pushing the button. The markets are always moving. Just because they took your stop loss and went in your direction, You're the one that put your stop loss there. You're the one that decided to get in that trade in the first place. It is not the market's fault. It is your fault. Once you can take accountability for your actions, that's when you can begin to acknowledge your flaws and then confront them. And you don't want to run away from them. You want to make sure that you figure out what they are, whether that be greed, impatient, impulsive, I just said that. Over trading. If you have fear of getting in, if you have a fear of not knowing when to get out, like it's just there's so many like different things. It's different for everyone. So you have to figure out with what your flaws are, and that will come with experience. And the easiest way to figure out what your flaws are through a demo account or paper trading, because if you do it with real money, then those flaws will be like amplified, and there'll be scars, and you'll have to deal with that through a good part of your trading development, and that'll just make things harder. So acknowledge your flaws and figure out a way to slowly get rid of them, because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to, let's say you're impulsive, let's say, and then so you're not going to wake up the next day and not feel those impulses to take another trade. Like, that's just normal for everyone. It's normal to feel that way. um, and it's very hard to control that because it's human nature. So the first time you try to control it, it's going to be very hard, very difficult. Probably will fall victim to your impulses. But over time, the more that you are able to control them, the more easier it will become, because you'll have these examples you'll have the experience. So say like you do it once and you're like, okay, I'm not going to take this trade. I do want to, but I'm not going to. And then let's say you watch the trade play out and it ends up hitting your stop loss. Then you're like, wow, I'm very happy I didn't take that trade, because I would have gotten stopped out. And then those experiences will help you make the next time you come up with those impulses, it'll make it a lot easier, because you'll remember that time where you would have got stopped out. So yeah, that was just one example, but it'll be different for everyone, and that's really just a personal development. But a lot of the flaws are very similar in some ways. So um, there's always someone that can help. So let's move on to number 4, which is realizing that you are in control. Not the markets, not the money, but you. At the end of the day, you're the one pushing the button to get into the market. So what I mean by this is you cannot let trading take control of your life. And I fell victim to this, and I don't know, because you cannot let the markets control your life, right? Like, you don't want to be the reason you're trading is to have freedom, not to be chained to the markets. So you don't want to be constantly stressed about the markets, you don't want to be constantly staring at the charts. Like, you're doing this for freedom. So don't let the markets control you, and don't let the money, don't let the greed, don't let that control you either. um, you are in control. If you didn't make money today, that's normal. Don't let that be the reason why you get back in. You don't even see anything on the charts, but you're just going to get back in because you want more money. That just doesn't make sense. And in the moment, it'll feel like it does make sense. But when you end up losing your account, you'll realize that that was the biggest mistake you ever made. So, I had more to say on that, but I forgot what it was. Number 5, accept the fact that you are human. I think that I would say this is the most important thing in terms of your career as a trader, because a lot of people give up because they fail to realize this. And what I mean by accept the fact that you're human is that you will make mistakes. You will do things that you're not supposed to. You will get it wrong. You will do it. You won't listen to yourself, which is the worst feeling. You'll know. Um, you'll be aware that you're not supposed to be doing something, and then you'll do it, and then you'll get punished for it, and then you will just have this feeling of regret. And that feeling of regret is a very horrible feeling. I think that is why a lot of people give up, because they can't sit with themselves and the fact that um, they they mess it up badly. Because you can do a lot of damage, um, and a lot of people can't sit with those feelings. And but at the end of the day, you have to realize that you are a human being. You are not emotionless. You will have emotions. You will have times where you let those emotions overcome you, and you will mess it up. That because you're human, and everyone else is human. Every trader goes through the same thing. You can't give up just because you blew one account. You can't give up just because you lost one funded account. That one account is not the end of the day, right? It's not the end of your trading career, right? Just because you blow an account does not make you a bad trader. That does not define your career as your success as a trader. That's what a lot of people fail to realize. It's a complete mindset. It's a paradigm shift, right? Like, if I blow an account, um, I can either mope around all day, be mad at everyone the whole day, and just d- despise. I don't even know if that's the right word, but despise my life and just like question my ability as a trader. Or you can be like, okay, I know I did this wrong. I knew I wasn't supposed to do this, and I did, and I got it, and I did it wrong, and I have learned my lesson, and I am a human being, and now I have the experience so that next time this happens, I won't make the same mistake. You have to go into trading with that kind of mindset. You can't do it wrong and be like, oh, I knew I wasn't supposed to do this and I did it anyways, and now I'm where I am now, and it's just the end of the world. And I get it. I'm telling you from personal experience, it literally feels like your life is over. Like, it feels like, I don't know, like it just feels like everything. It just it's a very hard feeling to explain when you mess it up and do a lot of damage to yourself, right? Whether that's a blown account or just breaking your rules. It kind of feels like um, you. This is where, like, that point in your when that happens, you have this voice inside your head that will like start to like just come in with all of these negative things, like, oh, why are you even doing this, or like, oh, you suck, or oh, you knew better and you still didn't do it, and now it's over. Now you have to restart everything. And um, that voice can really get to your head sometimes. And uh, you just have to be aware that that voice inside your head is only trying to bring you down, and that it is completely, what you're going through is completely normal. You just have to figure out what you did wrong and grow from it. Um, because sitting around moping all day is not going to do any good for you. You know, it's just going to make your life miserable, and no one wants to live a miserable life. So, um, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone blows an account. Everyone loses a funded account. Everyone gets all their profits and then loses it all the next day. It happens, bruh. You can't. Don't let one failure be the reason your future success doesn't come into fruition. Um, yeah, just grow from your mistakes, and make sure you learn from your mistakes, because when you mess it up, remember that feeling inside your chest, and for the next time, um, something like this similar comes up, you won't want to experience that feeling again. And yeah, just learn from your experiences, because if you don't, then you'll be making the same mistake over and over again, and that's just a repeated cycle of the unprofitable trader, and that cycle goes on forever. That's why you see these people who are like, oh yeah, I'm 10 years in and I'm still not profitable. Why is that? Because they're stuck in that cycle of constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. You have to break free of that cycle. um, you have to listen to yourself. um, Trust your experience, trust the pain that you went through, don't waste it, and yeah, just learn from your mistakes. And last but not least, time is everything. Um, this has multiple meanings. Obviously, in the charts, if you're an ICT trader like me, you know that time, everything revolves around time. But also outside of the charts, um, time is the best healer. What this means is that whenever you take a loss or whenever you do it wrong, you will have, um, most of you will have the impulse to get right back in and fix it, especially if you did something you knew you weren't supposed to do. You will have that strong impulse to just get in there real quick, and erase that mistake and just get back to break even, because you know that you weren't even supposed to do that, so they shouldn't even have counted. So you might as well just go back in there and fix it real quick. Um, but you're not. I'm telling you right now, you're not in the best state of mind to be doing that, because then that second trade will turn into another loser, and then the third trade you're gonna over leverage and try and get everything back in the next trade, and then that'll become a loser. And from there, that is how you blow an account. So, um, but what I mean by time is the best healer is in between losses, especially at the beginning, when you have not a lot of experience. And I'm saying this like I have 2 years of experience, and I consider that not a lot of experience. So, um, time is the best healer means that in between trading setups, in between, whenever you take a loss, you need to have time in between the next trade that you take, whether that be the next session, the next trading day. Um, there has to be some kind of time interval so that the chemicals in your brain and the hormones can all settle down, so that you're not so that you're in the right state of mind. And that's very important. In the moment, you will it is probably one of the hardest things for me. That's uh my biggest struggle is stopping, even in stopping and drawdown, not stopping it in general, because I can have a winning trade and then easily be done for the day. But my biggest struggle is stopping after a losing trade, whether my setup didn't play out or I did something I knew I wasn't supposed to. I have a very hard time stopping, and time is the best healer. So with time, I will become more clear-minded, because right after I take a loss, my mind is not clear. No one's mind will be clear. You will only be focused on trying to get what you lost back. Um, so yeah, make sure in between trade setups, especially if you take a loss, that there is time. Preferably the next trading day. That's the best thing to do, because imagine, bro, you're taking one trade a day. How are you gonna blow an account that fast? Like, if you're properly managing risk, how are you explain to me how you're gonna blow an account if you're taking one trade a day? It's not gonna happen. So yeah, and then time will give you success you must submit to time. What this means is that trading, again, a trading is a very it's a delayed gratification. So you will spend, if you're just new, you will spend at least 2 years before you see any kind of success. Maybe one if you're really good at, if you follow everything in this video, you'll find it probably within a year, but I'd say at least a year so that you can get the market experience. But 1 to 2 years, yeah, at least minimum, until you start seeing some kind of success. And you have to submit to time. You can't rush it, because the more you rush it, the longer it's gonna take. It's like the more you rush it, it's like a hamster wheel. Like, the more, those things where they like run around, um, spinning on the wheels. Like, the faster you run. Oh, that was a horrible analogy. I don't know where I was going with that, but what I'm basically trying to say is, the harder you push it, the more you try to find success, the faster you try to do it, the longer it'll take. Because what you'll end up doing is you'll get greedy, you'll start over leveraging, you'll start over trading, and you won't you want everything to happen right now. You want to be successful overnight, but that's not how it works in this industry. So you have to submit to time. You have to take it month by month, week by week, day by day. You have to have that long-term perspective in this. Don't let one day's P&L be the reason you blow an account. Don't let 1 week's P&L be the reason why you think you're a horrible trader. I mean, one week can easily be wiped out in the next week. Like, you can't just see one data point and think that defines you. You have to it depends on the trading that you are, because I'm a scalper, so I could be in drawdown one day, and then the next day I can easily wipe that drawdown and make profits. So but you have to have that perspective. You can't, like, in the moment, let's say you take a loss, you have to be thinking about the next day or the next week. Like, that loss in the moment, it'll feel like, those scenes, those movie scenes where it's like the camera, it's like looking down a hall, and then all of a sudden that hall just like pans, and like it like gets really far away, and it's like a horrible, it kind of gives you like that horrible feeling. That's what that loss will feel like in the moment. Like, it'll just feel like everything's just going wrong. But you have to realize it's not the end of the world, bro. It's one loss. You can easily make that back the next day. You have to be thinking in the future, like the next day, the next week. The next week, you're probably not even gonna remember that loss. Even if you journal, you'll have it in your journal, but you're not, like, the next week you're not gonna be thinking, oh yeah, I took that loss last week. Like, it's not, you have to just, in the moment, you just have to be able to move on and accept that loss and submit to time, because time will do the healing, and over time you will have that success naturally come to you if you have the market experience and you have the experience of yourself, which is what basically everything what I just went over. So yeah, it's probably, I could have talked about more, but this is just what I had in mind as of right now. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. If you have any personal experiences you'd like to share, you can leave those in the comments. If you appreciated the video, you can leave that in the comment, or you could just like the video. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, but I have a free Discord community. It's not a course, no teachings, no anything. It's just a community of traders, either already profitable or on their way to becoming profitable. It's just a good spot, a good space to have like-minded individuals around. So if you want to join, I'll put that link in the description. And yeah, that's it. So until then, be safe and control your impulses. And a good friend of mine, Don, we were talking, and he was talking about, he had a whiteboard on his wall, and he was reading off to me, and he said this quote. It said, and I have it on my whiteboard now. I'll show you guys right now, actually. Oh, it's probably backwards. Oh, wait, no, it's not. See it? It says, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline. Choose your pain. And I really resonated with this because every time I break my rules or every time I do something I know I'm not supposed to do, I always end up with the pain of regret. And that feeling of regret, you have to sit with that all day, and it just makes your day horrible. It makes, like, for me, I don't even eat. I eat, like, when I have that pain of regret, the only meal I eat is probably dinner, because that's like, I'm starving by then. But like, I don't even want to eat. I don't even want to do anything with my day, and it just makes the day horrible. That pain of regret is a really horrible feeling. So you have to choose the pain of being disciplined, the pain of controlling your impulses, and that is what will lead to your success. So I just really like that quote. Oh, and I thought that I would share it. But I'm going to end the video off here. Yeah. I'll start uploading more on YouTube. I don't know if I'll do any more vlogs. I have to get a mic for my phone so that the audio would be a lot better. But yeah, let me know what kind of YouTube content you guys want to see, like how I internalize price or my trading model, anything. But yeah, until next time, be safe and stay trading.